going to replace these magnetic catches on these bifold doors. At this property there are 3 doors. Here is 1, 2 and 3. The factory fitted magnetic catches are not strong enough to hold the door open in windy conditions. This results in the door slamming shut when it gets caught by the wind. In most cases this is a relatively easy fix and is just a case of buying new magnetic catches with stronger magnets. To replace the magnetic catches you simply undo them by turning them in an anti-clockwise direction to unscrew them. I have found a website called Doorstopworld which stocks a huge amount of door stops for patio doors and also upgraded magnetic catches. This website sells magnetic catches in various lengths and colours and ships worldwide. I will place a link to the website in the description. These are the old magnetic catches that I have just removed. As you can see, they only have the protective anti-scratch film on one of the catches. The magnets in these catches are also very weak. The new magnetic catches contain N52 Neodymium magnets, which are the strongest that you can get. The new catches also have a protective anti-scratch film on both of the magnetic catches. You then screw on the new magnetic catches in a clockwise direction. In most cases, by fitting the improved catches from Doorstopworld, your issue will be fixed and the doors will no longer blow shut. Now, before we continue, I'd just like to point out that I'm not an expert in magnetic catches or bifold doors. I did, however, used to be a maintenance engineer and have applied some common sense when investigating this issue further. As you can see, when the door is fully open, there is a gap between the magnetic catches, as in they do not have full surface contact. This is because the door is hinged and the gap between both doors will never be parallel. I started looking at the magnetic catches and mainly the back plate and realised that the magnetic catches are parallel but the back plates are slightly angled in the direction of the grub screw. I can demonstrate this by placing the magnetic catch down on the bench. You can see that the spirit level is perfectly level. The second magnetic catch has been screwed onto the back plate. You can see that the spirit level is no longer level and is leaning in the direction of the grub screw. I have now unscrewed the magnetic catches and will loosen the grub screw and rotate the back plate 180 degrees. The grub screws are now pointing towards the hinges. I have tightened up the Phillips screw and the grub screw and will now replace the magnetic catch. When I now open the door, the gap is much smaller than it was before and the magnetic catches will hold much better. I've just rigged this up to explain a little bit better using 2 pieces of wood and a hinge. Firstly, I have positioned the stops so that both grub screws are pointing towards the hinges. You can now see that they are completely flush and the magnets have perfect face-to-face contact. I have now rotated the back plates so that the grub screws point away from the hinge and you can now see the gap. So if you have a gap between your magnetic catches, it's worth checking that they are in the correct orientation. If the doors on this property continue to blow shut, I will add a second set of magnetic catches to the bottom of the doors. If I was installing the magnetic catches from new, I will definitely have moved the stop further out this way, but I would have got a longer stop. So I'll just use this model again. Obviously this represents the door and the door handle. What you want to do is make sure that the door handle doesn't hit the frame. So we need to leave a gap there, and then we need to measure and get the largest one that we can, the furthest away from the hinges. So you could quite easily get a 90mm stop on there, and that would be the best option for a door like this. Obviously, the further the stop is this way, the better it's going to work, because the door is actually acting like a lever. So if you have your stops down here, obviously when the wind gets behind it, it's going to pull the door open more easily. Whereas if it's closer to the end here, it's going to be a lot stronger. So that's what I would do if I was fitting the stops from new. But in this example, we can't actually do anything about it because the stops have already been fit. And obviously you don't want to start putting new stops on and drilling even more holes into the frame. I will put a link in the description to the Doorstopworld website. They do have quite a lot of unique catches, door stops, etc. for patio doors, so it's well worth checking that website out. I'd just like to point out that I'm not affiliated in any way with Doorstopworld.